lessons that you learn every day in life that prepare you for tomorrow. What we've experienced over the last 2.5 years has prepared us for this day, has prepared us for tomorrow, has prepared us to be a very credible government in waiting. Your government in waiting. Bermuda's government in waiting. Because as I have said as leader of the opposition, I'm everybody's opposition. I'm as much the opposition for that government member or PLP supporter who's frustrated because they're not getting the accountability that Mr. Barrett spoke of so eloquently. The opposition leader for that member that might not carry our card, that feels very frustrated that law and order has gotten out of hand, like my good Senator Michael Dunkley articulated so well. And, you know, I learned in my journey in politics how important the power of one is. And if any one of you know a lady by the name of Frida Rudrick, tell her I said thank you very much. I tell this story time and time again. After winning in St. George's in 2007, she pulled me aside and says, "Congratulations, young man. Never forget the power of one." Having lost by 22 and won by 17, I understand that all too well. But what does it mean in the greater context of what we're experiencing here in Bermuda? What we've seen with my colleague, Mr. Barrett, talking about good governance, is a government that's been able to create divisions, create distractions, and cause us a great deal of money in the process because persons haven't been focused on the issues. And that's a big problem for us in Bermuda right now. Our future generations are going to have to foot the bill of a very huge debt as a consequence of a public not holding its government in account. Now, there's some realities that I have to point out that we need to put it in the framework. Is that in 2007 and 2003, we, the United Bermuda Party, guarded 47% of the vote. PLP won the government fair and square with 52% of the seats. However, they received 52% of the vote and received 63% of the vote seats. And we received 47% and 48% of the vote, and on each occasion only received 37% of the seats. So anyone that wants to compare apples and apples needs just to go back and look. In 1980, and I certainly know there are people in this room know how the 1980 election went. It was 22-18, and I think the government had 51% of the seats voted. But if you look, you'll see that the government had to operate for 3 years with only that same percentage of seats. What did that mean? That meant that the government couldn't travel. That meant cabinet ministers had to stay home and take care of their business. And that means that you had far more accountability. The shenanigans that are going on today couldn't have taken place years ago. So I think it's very important that we put things in their proper context. Now, how would we build unity in this community? And without going on all the things that you know exist, there are some basic principles that I think Bermuda must follow, that Bermuda must return to. And I respectfully submit that they are some basic values. We have, in our Constitution, embraced some 7 principles that we feel are very important. One is being selfless. Selflessness is very important. As John Barrett has spoken to, we are public servants. We work for you, each and every one of you. As an elected official, the constituents of St. George's, number 2, are my bosses. One just walked in the room right there. That's who I report to. Ultimately, anyone here from St. George's, number 2, knows that that's true. The power of one. Ms. Frida Rudrick, one of my important constituents. So Harvey will tell you. That's what's important. When your constituency calls, you must respond. You must listen to them on issues. What's important to them. That's where it starts. As leader of the opposition, I also have another constituency that I answer to. as the leader amongst equals within our parliamentary group. That's another constituency that I must be responsible for. So we have to be accountable. We are servants. We must be selfless. And we must put your interest ahead of our interest. That is not happening. Another core principle that we embrace is objectivity. And, when you're objective, you take on board. A person say to me, well, what's taking place today? So is the BBB going to take UBP votes? It says, welcome to my world. I wake up every day knowing that I could lose by 22, I could win by 17, or I could lose by 100 if I fall way out of favor with people. I could win by 100 if people really gravitate for me. So I can put myself in the context of like what